Hi everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's November 6th, Saturday, 2021. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm not sure where to start. So let's start with the infrastructure bill. It did pass, but at this point it's so complicated, none of us really know what's going on. I mean, we might as well just admit it, right? Something passed. Remember when my pendulum was just going around the other night? Are they going to vote tonight? That was Thursday. They're going to vote tonight, and my pendulum didn't even know what was going on. And then it said that it would pass, and it looked like it was going to pass in the wee hours of the morning, and it ended up being Friday morning. I don't know how about the wee hours, but time's a little bit hard to predict in the psychic realm. So yay, we must definitely celebrate the victories. At least we'll get something done. At least something is going to be done for the American people. If you watch MSNBC too much nowadays, CNN, I don't watch as much, but it's probably going on there, I would guess. There's a lot of Debbie Downer kind of stuff going on where it's just like, oh, well, let's give you something to worry about. Let's give you something else to worry about. How about we worry about this? Should we be worried about that? You know, I'm all for, broadcast the news. I am not for fear-mongering. Because maybe there are some scary things going on. Well, not maybe. Definitely there's some scary things going on. We all know that if we're paying attention. But it's irresponsible to make people go into a panic. It's definitely a better policy to give people hope. And I love Rachel Maddow, but she does it. You know, Rachel will report the news and then you're just waiting. There's like this dramatic, okay, here, the turn's coming, she gave us a good story. Like the other night, there was a lot of good news stories, like the new COVID pill, the infrastructure bill was on its way. 45 looks like he's gonna get in some really big trouble. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. We'll look at that. There were some really good news stories, but there's always the flip. And the flip to the negative, scary story that's made up is not necessary. But it is necessary for advertisers. I mean, look at how long those big pharma commercials are. They're not cheap. I wonder how much they are, actually. Okay, so the infrastructure bill passed. So we're happy about that. So let's celebrate that. Have the beverage of your choice and celebrate that. It's a tough uphill battle for the Democrats. It is. It's like, this is how they're just going to have to duke it out. And we have to keep them all in our thoughts and prayers, because the interesting thing that's happened in this country, if just from an observer standpoint, is it seems like there's a large segment of the population that is getting a lot of mileage and a lot of satisfaction out of being horrible. And we need to really take a look at that. And we're not having enough retribution. We're not having enough action from the DOJ that's tangible. I think it was Jeffrey Clark, that's also ignoring his subpoena. Steve Bannon ignored his subpoena. 45 is still a free agent. I want to talk a little bit about something that Ellie Down Under mentioned that has been on my mind. So I want to talk a little bit about, anyone who's been following me might have noticed that I never have really brought up, I don't think I have, Andrew Cuomo and what's gone on there. The reason for that is twofold. One, it's too infuriating. And I'll tell you what's infuriating. 45 I mean, you shouldn't abuse women. I'm a woman, I know. I'm totally not on Cuomo's side. He should have used way more discretion and decency. By comparison, 45's crimes against women are exponentially greater. So why did he get, kicked out of being governor, but 45 got elected president? So, kudos to Ellie Down Under for bringing up the fact that that's a little fishy. I'm glad she brought it up because I've been thinking about it. Letitia James was all over. She was coming after, New York was coming after 45. She was going for it. And then all of a sudden, Letitia James, we were counting on her. All of a sudden, it flipped. We have very short attention spans in this country. It flipped. And she's running for, she gets Cuomo, investigated and he's ousted, and she's running for governor, and she's dropped the ball on 45. All his criminality with his tax stuff and everything. So what the heck is going on? That's why the Psychic News Network is here. That's why the other psychics are here. We need to get to the bottom of things from a psychic perspective. So bear with me. We're going in. So, anyway, how's the weather where you are? It's cold today. Cold and clear, which is nice. But boy, you can feel it. It's like, your body's like, whoa, what's happening? Everything has to change. It's a good time of year to eat a lot of healthy soups, and this is my little segue to just lighten things up. Eat a lot of healthy soups, drink a lot of water, get more exercise, up your physical activity. It is a time of year that, our bodies do go through like, oh, what's going on? They get a little confused. So treat your body with kindness and get exercise outdoors. So what's going on with this? Is there something nefarious going on behind the scenes that is, there were 10 insurrectionists, I have to look up where they were from and where it happened, that got elected into office on Tuesday. I have red flags about McAuliff not getting in. We live in a time where there's a lot of scorpionic energy, and Mars is in Scorpio, Mercury went into Scorpio, the Sun is in Scorpio, the Moon is in Sag today. It was in Scorpio yesterday, so I should be right on my game because I'm Sag with Scorp rising, just psychically. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and people that think about this stuff get to see, you just go down the rabbit hole and you're like, whoa, where does it end? Where's the thread and where does it end? So the thread is that these criminals that are being subpoenaed are ignoring the subpoenas. Merrick Garland has been really quiet. Letitia James flipped and went after Cuomo instead of 45. The insurrectionists aren't being prosecuted for the most part. Let's take a look at the cards, shall we? Scorpios, lots going on behind the scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, I do feel a lot of energy around the January 6th Commission getting to the bottom of things. But we need to see more action. And the Alec Baldwin thing, I have not let go of. It's too much of a coincidence. 45 was so upset at his imitating him on SNL. And for somebody who's a malignant narcissist, they can't handle being made fun of. Brings to mind Obama at that, press dinner back in 2010, 11. That's what they do with that dinner when I don't know if they still have it with COVID and everything, but they make fun. They poke fun and they all laugh. It's a joke. Great. I have a new pendulum. Let's ask, is there something going on behind the scenes that's putting 45 in a I don't want to say winning position, that's putting 45 at an advantage and all his cohorts? Okay. That's not it. Let's look at the cards. Is there something going on behind the scenes that's putting the last guy that was in the White House at an advantage? That's the question. What's the answer? Well, the Seven of Swords said it's a matter of a little more time and he won't be at an advantage. And he will be regretting being caught. 45 will be regretting getting caught. Yeah, there's some illicit deals going on behind the scenes that have kept him in the position that he's in. Definitely there have been people paid off, the guides are saying. I don't know where he's getting his money, but I mean, supposedly he was a billionaire. I don't think he still is. I think it's all wrapped up in with lawyers and real estate. But anyway, 45, it's gonna, we keep consistently, the psychics keep consistently saying it's gonna catch up to him. The jig will be up in terms of him being able to, he's doing, remember The Art of the Deal, as much of a fake book that was? He's been doing deals behind the scenes to keep himself out of trouble this whole time. Since a year ago, and we know that was the story of his life. It's been the story of his life anyway. So, yeah, he's been paying people off. There is a female coming after 45. There is a female coming after 45. This reminds me of Liz Cheney. So, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts. So what I always look for is the common thread. So it's a lot of, I feel like it's about 30% of 45 doing deals behind the scenes that are keeping him out of trouble. And that's been going on since January 6th, still doing the deals behind the scenes, offering people cover, or offering people something, cover and money. That's just my guidance. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Everything that I say is based on my opinion and my impressions and my psychic facts. Okay, there you go. I know it's a little vague, but I do see deals behind the scenes happening that have kept him out of trouble to date. It's complicated. Now, don't get me wrong when I say Cuomo was framed, because I don't mean that what he did should be condoned. But Cuomo was framed. Entertainment purposes only. The set of that Western that Alec Baldwin was in, and I believe it was his production company too, that was a setup. I don't think they expected somebody to die. Entertainment purposes only. Next question. It's too heavy, man. It's too heavy. It's too heavy. Okay, so what's going to happen with Steve Bannon? They voted to convict him. He's still walking free. Jeffrey Clark. I think it was Jeffrey Clark. I have to double check. It's been a busy day. Also ignored the subpoena. How do you ignore a subpoena? I'd be shaking in my boots. I'd be like, I better go tell. But then by the same token, that's why I said there's so much going on. You just got to look for the common thread. Sidney Powell and Giuliani are looking really like big fat liar criminals in their depositions, in their hearings, whatever they're doing. And I've said that I see Giuliani in jail. How about Sidney Powell? Is Sidney Powell going to jail? That's what I want to ask. Is Sidney Powell going to jail? Oh, it's saying yes. New pendulum. It's actually not a stone. It's plastic with stones inside, but seems to be working pretty good. I got that in New Hampshire and Portsmouth. All right, I'm looking at Bannon. The females that are in the justice system are going to come down on Bannon. I mean, I don't get good cards for him. He's just sort of... The guides just said he's threatening with violence. That's what's going on. Okay, that's what's going on with Bannon. Because the guides are showing me secret phone calls. Sorry, I don't mean to give you bad news. I'm just, telling you what I see. I see... That's why they haven't come down hard, because of national security. Oh, man. Let's go to some happy news, shall we? Well, the infrastructure bill was a happy news. Okay, so my question about Steve Bannon and the other cohorts is... Eventually, are they going to be behind bars? Those who were subpoenaed, there's a list that said, subpoena, shapina. Bannon? I see Bannon behind bars. Giuliani? Giuliani behind bars. Oh, what the heck? Let's just keep going. Roger Stone? No. He has an alibi. The guys just said he has an alibi. What's his name? The finance guy for Trump. The finance guy for Trump going to jail. His last name starts with a W and it's escaping me right now. Weisselberg. Okay. Going to jail. What the heck? Ivanka? No. Eric? Eric, 45's child. Eric is, okay. Don Jr.? No, but the guys are saying Don Jr. is going to have some kind of a breakdown. Okay, that's enough of that. We shall see. In the meantime, the other day I said that I was writing a list of 1,000 things by Thanksgiving that I'm grateful for. Somebody, one or two people wanted to join me in the challenge, so let's keep each other up to date. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you want to let me know how you're doing. I think I'm up to 100. I might have passed 100. 1,000 gratitudes. They all have to be different. It could be anything. Just to keep the energy lifted. Okay. Now, 10 insurrectionists elected to office. So it seems like there's a good percentage of Americans that want things to be bad. And it reminds me of people that need to go see scary or violent movies because of the excitement of it. And I hate to tell you, but that is more attractive to a pretty good segment of the population than sanity and peace and everyone being good. They'd rather have the violent drama. So we're going to look at that. What's going on with those 10 insurrectionists being elected? I'll look up who they are. Oh, I wanted to look at something else too, because McAuliff not winning is just, you can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want. You can hate this video if you want. But something, when I look at the race in Virginia, Youngkin's team actually pledged allegiance to the flag that was part of the insurrection. This is some serious stuff. And he got elected. Anyway, as far as McAuliff not getting elected, the guides are showing me, I'm just seeing a picture. And I feel so stupid saying this because I sound like, 45's, base. I see a bunch of votes that weren't counted. That's all I'm going to say. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's over. They're not going to fight about it. The Republicans would fight about it, but the Democrats won't. What am I asking about? I keep going off on a tangent. Well, the cards are good. I wonder what the question was. Oh my goodness. I don't know, but the guides have something to say here because this has to do with convention winning. Oh, the insurrectionists. The insurrectionists. The Constitution winning. I want you, when you get worried or down, I want you to think of 10 people that are awesome people, whether you know them or not. I want you to think of some wonderful people that you know. Could be somebody famous, not famous, because you need to keep faith. We all need to keep faith in the goodness of people. And that's why I don't like MSNBC going on, and CNN does it too, going on about how bad it is and how 45 is going to run for president and we're going to be a fascist government and all these years of having democracy will be gone and we'll all be poor and we'll all be this and we'll all be that. I don't want people to be thinking that way because it's so irresponsible for them to be saying things that they have no idea about. Psychics can do that. MSNBC, not allowed. And a psychic who scares you is not a responsible, ethical person. Just so you know. So I don't think it's responsible or ethical that MSNBC, that they're doing that. So as far as the 10 insurrectionists being elected into office, I mean, that should throw up some red flags for the Democrats, right? Oh, election fraud, but we're not going to play that game. The Hierophant, this is the Constitution winning. I don't think that they're going to know what they're doing. Which reminds me of the Taliban. They're not going to know what they're doing. They're going to be in over their head. The Marjorie Taylor Greene types are going to be, loud. And what's going to happen is the people of this country, after the infrastructure bill passes, are going to be having a better time with their lives. It's going to be easier on them to have, the government working for the people, taxing the multi-billionaires so that they're not paying zero, they're paying their fair share. These insurrectionists getting into office, I don't feel them having any power because the people being helped is going to have more power. So people needing help, receiving help, feeling good about the help, there's going to be more people that feel good about what's happening with getting assistance. And the appeal of the insurrectionists, whether they're elected into public office or not, their appeal is going to fall. And that brings me to what's going to happen with the Republican Party. Are people really going to want human rights taken away and voting rights being taken away and life getting worse economically for your family? Are people really going to want what the Republicans are offering, where they go on Fox News and like Ted Cruz, man, he makes my skin crawl. He's not the only one. I see him on a clip on Fox News and he's, oh, this is terrible. The Democrats don't care about jobs. Actually, the jobs report was good. The Democrats don't care about the working person. They don't care about jobs. And this is Ted Cruz going on and on and on and on and on about what the Republicans aren't for clearly, and saying the Democrats aren't for those things, when the Democrats have been talking about these things and building up these things like jobs, solutions for COVID, you know, helping people with their families and their children and their elder care, building our bridges and our infrastructure, and Ted Cruz is over there going, and they're not doing this, and they're not doing all the things that they're actually doing. That has a shelf life. So let's see. I mean, if people just open their eyes and ears, they're gonna, they can, you know, the problem is not enough people are paying attention. So we're gonna look at what's gonna happen with the Republican Party when the Democrats start producing help for the American people, and the Republicans are gonna stand by, and I don't know, what they do is they take the credit. They talk out of 5 sides of their mouths. I don't mean to be nasty, but it is annoying. Oh. All their secrets are going to be revealed. This is about the Republicans. Thank you for giving me some good news. The secrets are going to be revealed, and the death card comes through. The Republican Party is dying out. White supremacy is dying. That's what they represent. I wouldn't get the death card if they were going to be like thriving, okay? And the Ace of Pentacles, this is the American people. I'm telling you, as an exercise, think of all the good people that you know. Think about people that are good that are in public office. Nobody's perfect. Don't point to their flaws. I'll just quote some Bible for you. Take the beam out of your eye before you know, go for the beam in your neighbor's eye or something like that. Don't be hypocritical, right? Well, that was good. Yeah, the Republicans are going to lose power because the high priestesses, the secrets are going to be revealed. Now, speaking of that, this is the other good story that Rachel Maddow told the other night was about the NRA. You know, all this being uncovered, that they funded Josh Hawley and they funded people that were part of the insurrection. They funded those people, and the NRA is being outed. So we're getting to the bottom of things, and, you know, let's ask about that. Are we going to see, I mean, that high priestess did show us, are we going to see more criminality exposed that will actually make a difference in terms of things turning around for the better? Power to the people. Yes, power to the people. Right now we're in a holding pattern. I feel like we're in a holding pattern for the next, till the start of next year, right around the time. I mean, a lot's happening now, and we're so tired of saying that over and over again. A lot's happening, a lot's happening, a lot's happening, but the most important things seem to not be coming to a head. But the Two of Swords is like, we're in a bit of a holding pattern right now. There were a lot of planets retrograde for quite a lot of time, but we did feel with this new moon a lot of good started happening. Great time for an infrastructure bill to pass. And Joe Biden is a Scorpio, and so I'm sure he's having a nice weekend. Yeah, okay, so the moon is, yeah, good things are definitely, the people have the power. Things are turning around for the better. I know, we have to be patient, so focus on all the good things. All the good people, all the people that you know that are happy and peaceful and loving and light, and the children, and, you know, think about the good things. It does matter. I have a question here that I wrote down. I'm not a fan of daylight savings time. And tonight, well, you know, we get an extra hour. We get an extra hour. Clocks go back. It's just so confusing. It's hard enough for me to do readings for people from other places and time zones. It's like, oh, it's craziness. Okay. I have a few more things I want to look at. There's always more. If you have specific questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll get to them best I can. It's not like I've got a ton of followers, you know, yet. All right. Will daylight savings time, will this ridiculousness ever end? People don't really like it. I don't like when it gets dark at 3:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, this is going to be a good case for ending daylight savings time. we're going to see it's going to be more beneficial for us to end daylight savings time, but right now they're just kind of lining it up. It's got to be like, you know, a majority of people just continuing to pound away at it. There's a lot of states that don't do this daylight savings time ridiculousness. Yeah, it's going to end. We're not going to keep daylight savings time forever. We're not farmers anymore. You know? I want to ask what happened with the Global Climate Summit, because I did ask the other day. It just seemed like, oh, well, Joe Biden came back, they passed the infrastructure bill, and nobody's talking about the summit. But Greta Thunberg, true to what I said the other night when I said, oh my gosh, the older people that are at the Global Climate Summit, you know, they're not really going to do a thing. And then you might remember I said, but, and I pulled some cards and I was like, oh, but the young people aren't going to stand for it. And that's what we're seeing. I think there was a huge demonstration overseas, like hundreds of thousands of people protesting fossil fuels and all that. Let's see if that's going to get any mileage. I mean, they had a great big demonstration about a year or so ago, with all the kids on the streets of all over the world that want a change to happen. Yeah, well, there's too much dark money, but something is going to happen to help our situation with global climate change. You might notice whenever I say that, Wikipedia pops up underneath the video, just in case you need to know what it is. Yeah, this is the building card. So something did happen, but fossil fuel industries are louder. Greta Thunberg's going to get a lot of cooperation, though. The young people in government and world politics government are going to move this forward. They're starting to get more power now because they're getting older. On the devil card came up, yeah. There's a lot of corruption, as we know. It doesn't take a psychic. We already know that. But I do see some change. It's just that it's not really particularly from the Global Climate Summit. All right, another question I have. I do want to ask about McAuliff, and I'm just going to ask the pendulum. Were there votes that weren't counted? Because, you know, all the psychics they have a pretty good batting average. Every one of us are like, what? What? Because we felt the voters. We felt the voters. Was there something, I'm getting my opinion out of it, was there something nefarious that happened with that election? Okay, so it's saying no. And I'm going to just ask a different question just to be clear about that. Were their votes accidentally not counted? Oh. Huh. There were votes accidentally not counted, but that would be nefarious, wouldn't it? Let's take a look at the cards about that, because we just got to see what happened in Virginia. The guides are showing me it was too close to call, and so somebody nudged it. I don't know what that means. Somebody pulled a fast one. There's nothing that's going to come of this. But there was something a little bit slippery going on in Virginia. If you are, you know, if you hate my channel, it's okay. You can leave and it's fine. It's all good. Love and light. Yeah, McAuliff actually is blaming himself extensively, but it really wasn't about the school thing. And it's so annoying when I hear them, you know, because he said that parents shouldn't be interfering with, the teachers have it hard enough. I don't know about you, but when I went to school, whatever the teacher did was the parents didn't interfere. They were just happy to get rid of us, send us to school, and the teacher was always right. So McAuliffe saying, you know, like the parents shouldn't interfere with the teachers, I agree with him. But, you know, on the news they're saying that's what got him in trouble. So I don't know. The news is just, I'm really down on the news today. Because they think they know. You know what I mean? That's why I have the Psychic News Network. They think they know. Psychics know. Kind of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so McAuliff is all down on himself, but I don't get that it was him. And there's some good that's going to come out of that race in Virginia, even though the Republican won. And I really feel like, you know, these Republicans, you know, that are getting in positions of power, you know, and a lot of Democrats won too on Tuesday. So let's not lose sight of that. Don't look just at the negative. Then they're going to have to strut their stuff and show what they're going to do for the American people, and they have no platform for that. They have no agenda for helping the American people. So that's going to really put a stain on them, on the Republicans. I mean, insurrectionists being elected to public office, what are they going to do for the American people? Zero. For some reason, I want to look up Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's in trouble. I've been saying that for a while. Is she... something gonna happen with her? I do see her in court. Yeah, I see MTG in court. There's a change of fortune for MTG. Star card is the America card. Yeah, she's in trouble with the federal government, MTG. The King of Pentacles. Somebody's gonna come down on what she's doing. And the guides just said the NRA has something to do with it. I guess maybe, I'm just guessing, because the guides just said that. Maybe she took money from the NRA. Probably. I can't tell you how many times I do readings here and then I check the news and I go, I just said that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Let's see. There's a new COVID pill on an Ask Annette episode, Bridge Cape Ann, about 2, maybe 3 months ago. I told Corey on Bridge Cape Ann on my show with him that I saw a cure, a pill that was, I saw something that we would consider a cure. So is this the cure? Let's ask the pendulum. Is this the cure that I saw? This is the cure that I saw. I actually called it a cure, and then I said, entertainment purposes only. You know, I didn't want to get in trouble for that. So let's just take a look at the cards. Is this COVID pill going to be like a cure? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The COVID pill. This Ace of Wands, to me, kind of even looks like a COVID pill in a way. The same color and everything. You know, that's like a COVID pill. That looks like a COVID pill to me. Yeah, it's going to make a big difference. The COVID pill will make a big difference. We're not over it yet. It's going to take some time. I do see another variant, but like I said before, Delta, the past Delta variant was the worst that I see. The Lover card, yeah, people are going to be really, really, really happy. And that will bode well for Joe Biden just because, you know, he's in office while this is happening. And 45 is fuming. 45 is actually trying to figure out how he can take credit for for the jobs and for the infrastructure bill. 45 is actually trying to figure out how he can take credit for even the COVID pill. I don't know. It's wacky, I tell you, you know. Pray for him that he sees the light. I don't know. Pray for your enemies, I guess. I think that's it. It's kind of a wacky day, but all is well. Church of Spirituality is tomorrow. Last week it was Halloween, and by the time I got around to recording Church of Spirituality, and it took 3.5 hours to load. I don't know why. It went up at about midnight, so but tomorrow will be sooner. So if you want to watch Church of Spirituality, it's pre-recorded until I can go live with 1,000+ subscribers. So please tune in if you'd like to book a personal reading, and thank you to those of you who have. I've really enjoyed meeting you and working with you. It's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. You are awesome. Don't forget it. Love yourself. We love you. And see you soon. Namaste.